live from. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
Yo. hey, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Case openings? Case openings? Wait.
A ton of money from
is that
hold on, it's my closing
they
thought.
actually everyone's saying they ran out of 3 because they feel it's profitable.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Catalyst Effect podcast. This is episode 30, and today is one of those weeks where it's just me and the boys in the studio, and we're just going to be shooting the shits, talking some gaming, getting into some gaming news that happened throughout this week. But I hope everybody's having a happy Sunday. Missy, how are you guys, man?
I'm chilling, my brother. I'm chilling. I'm a little hungover, but we're here.
Hey, let's go, baby. We're here. You're hungover. I'm outside for today, guys. I'm actually touching grass. You know, I'm over here in the beautiful New Smyrna Beach. But what about you, Missy? How are you, bro?
Grass? That shit's a myth, right?
Right.
I'm chilling, man. I'm playing some WoW right now.
Ooh,
I'm playing some WAGME.
Somebody went back to their ex-girlfriend.
Yep, I did, man. I caved. She was too beautiful.
Oh, man.
I couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, man. I mean, WoW's always a vibe. You know, I think what I do miss about WoW is, and it's nothing to do with the game. It's this thing where I've just done everything there is to do in the game. You know, like I've PvP'd at the highest level. I've raided at the highest level. I've had success. I've had failure. So it's kind of like, even though they create new content, I never feel that feeling of newness anymore. You know, it's like I'm just so used to it. But
and you know what's crazy about WoW too? Like a lot of the people that are building games in this space come from WoW. Like all the ideology comes from WoW. So it's kind of funny that you're going back to it, like the roots.
Yeah, I have to, man. I have to. You know, I'm missing that authentic MMO experience. I can't get it anywhere in Web3 right now. And
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I wanted to ask you, like, going back to such a legendary title like WoW, right? Like a game that has been around for close to 2 decades at this point, right? Like,
yep.
What is the main difference that you notice right away from a game like WoW, right? Even going back to it now in this era, right? Versus like any Web3 games. It doesn't have to be an MMO necessarily, but like
yeah, for sure.
Web3
I mean,
games.
definitely the content, obviously, right? Like, there's so much content in this game. Like, you can get lost in this shit, and just how, I guess, well thought out the characters are. You know, what I will say about a lot of Web3 games, whether it be FPS or like an MMO or something, is they don't really like dive into the uniqueness of each character in the game. So, for example, like in World of Warcraft, if you play a mage, it's almost like you're in a cult, right? Like, mage players kind of like fuck with each other. They always give each other alpha. It's like this thing where you have your forums and you can kind of dive into what's the best way to play the game, the character, all this shit. It's very like the community around the game, in my opinion, is what makes the game special, because all the people getting together to share strategies, all that shit, just creates this culture that I can get into the game right now and know that I can hop into a forum and catch up very quickly. Like, I'll know all the strategies, I'll know the best rotations from the class, and I can be competitively rating in like a week, you know? You can't do that in any Web3 title because all of them are too early. But even then, I feel like a lot of the Web3 titles aren't creating uniqueness enough around specific characters or builds within their game to be able to even create that culture.
And even if they did, they don't even highlight it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think that's the one thing that in a very weird way that sucks about the financialization of Web3. It's such a primary focus that you kind of lose everything else.
True.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah, like,
that is so true.
To bring out an example, Chronos Worlds has a lot of interesting stuff in it, and if they dive deep into that, I think there's easily a fan base or culture they could build. So I hope that like what you're saying is heard by a lot of these devs, because they are focusing too much on the financial side of it in the beginning, because it kind of alludes back to what we were talking about on BIG. It's like kind of looking for funding at the end of the day. Like we all know that, but that's really what we're lacking in like games, is like that authenticity, like you're talking about.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I know everyone has their objectives and shit that they have to reach, right? But ultimately, I don't know, maybe the UGC around your game should be centered around building this kind of culture. Like, creating content about like, hey, what's your favorite class? Hey, what's your favorite, weapon? Like, with 9 heroes, I feel I did a montage the other day with a rocket launcher, and I had a couple people shit talking me. But let's be honest, if you're really high, rocket launcher hit. You don't need to have perfect aim. And I was super baked when I was doing most of those videos. So like I wanted a game, but I was way too high for that shit. So I was like,
yeah.
The rocket launcher.
With that in mind, do you think that developers don't really approach that form of UGC because they feel like most communities in Web3 want to feel incentivized in some way to put in the work? Or
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like in the traditional gaming world, right, like creators do content just out of their own interest, right, or to inform something to their audience or to entertain their audience, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're working with the game or they're in communications with the games, right? But in Web3, I feel like that screen is like flipped a little bit.
I feel like we've seen a bit of that with Illuvium, and God bless anybody that's been able to create content with Illuvium for a year or more now, because I mean, y'all motherfuckers had nothing to work with, so props to you. But I think it's a mix of things, right? Like the problem is for example, when you become a creator in this space, what nobody talks about is the gateway drug that happens in your DMs, right? You might want to double down on the game, because I've been there. I could tell you, right? Like I had a life before Catalyst in Web3 gaming, and you start creating content around a game or two that you fuck with, and you go with that Web2 mentality. But guess what? There's like 20 new games in your DMs offering you $500, $1,000, even more, depending what you're following. And, I mean, that shit is tempting. It's not, we're all human at the end of the day. So a lot of people can talk about like, oh, the creators aren't creating content around the game. You will talk to me when you have like 5G's worth of deal flow in your fucking DMs, and you tell me what you want to do. That's just my honest opinion on it. Like, is there certain games that I will definitely not touch? For sure. Absolutely. There's certain games that I play because I just want to play them. Yeah, and I post not sponsored because everybody assumes everything's paid in this industry, right? But I mean, hell, if I fuck with the game and there's a bag, like, why not? Right?
That's like icing on the cake, man. That's the best.
Yeah. So I wish like these ambassadorships. Like I was telling the dev that we're relatively close with. You guys saw it in the group chat. I was like, put the ambassadors to fucking work, bro. Like, they got the dream, right? They're playing the game that everyone wants to play. They're representing this game that everyone wants to represent. Put in the work. Put in the guides for the weapons. Put in the guides for the fucking, the classes, because I'm not going to call it out directly, but use your imagination, folks. Put in the work to have them put in the work to represent their ambassadorship accordingly, because that game is ripe for the taking with content, and nobody's doing it, right? We can do it. Why? Because we have a fair amount of our own deal flow that we're very transparent with our sponsors. Shout out Alpaca Dash, shout out Wagme.
Yes,
shout out all the other people that we've worked with. And there's plenty of games that we also play for free. But when it comes down to, hey, I have a client that is working with the Catalyst organization and I need to deliver a certain level of quality. Am I going to sit around and create guides for games for free when 60 hours of my week goes towards taking care of paid clients? I don't have the time to do so, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I would love to see a paradigm shift in the nature of these partnerships and how people work together. But me personally, like, there's plenty of games I want to make guides for, but that shit ends up sitting at the bottom of the to-do list with all the other shit I have to do. So I encourage any upcoming creator, like, if you're listening to this shit, start off doing what nobody else is doing, and that's like doubling down on 1 or 2 titles, making a fuck ton of guides, And eventually, at some point, you will go Hollywood. So just embrace it. Like, you're gonna get a bag. People will offer it to you. Take that shit. Don't be fucking stupid, but be transparent. And of course, only play shit that you fuck with. But if you want to stick out really quick, I mean, there you go. Do that shit for like a month. You'll have deal flow. Guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would die on that hill with you, bro. Like, as long as you're a creator that's producing quality content, and I'm not talking about production quality, I'm talking about like the information you're providing, the topics you're focusing on, right? Like quality content that's actually either entertaining to as fuck or like informative as fuck, right? That's gonna build a personal brand for you, and that at the end of the day is more important because brands are attracted to that, right? Like you have a crowd of people that listen to what your influence is. They're going to want to work with you, and that's when you got to capitalize on that. I don't think, bro, at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with sponsorships, right? I think it's just the nature of the business. Like, we are content creators.
Yeah. Anyone, there's one particular guy, and I'm not gonna call him out either, but I even got a recording this motherfucker shitting on content creators, right? And it wasn't like in a private meeting or anything. It was at an event that I hosted back when I was a community manager at Web3GT. And this particular guy was like, I used to be a YouTuber and I used to create content for free. I shouldn't have to fucking pay. He worked for a game at the time. I shouldn't have to fucking pay for anyone to create content around this game. Guess what? He is now a content creator getting paid, doing at least 2 activations a week. I guess money talks people up. You feel me? So even some of the people that are shitting on you today as a content creator for getting a bag, they're just mad that they also cannot get a bag, right? And the second they have the opportunity to get the bag, they'll go get it.
Yeah. And it all has to do with the way you want to build your brand. For example, the 3 of us, we want to build our brands, but we also care about the validity of our brand, right? So like we exclude ourselves from working with shitty projects, shitty games, stuff like that. And the brands that we're working, we're generally, either like really happy with the game or we want to help them to get to the next level, right? So that's why our content is always so real and natural, right? Because we're not actually faking it. We're actually enjoying the products we're working with. But, that's the only difference here. There's a lot of creators that just want to make money and they don't give a shit if they're sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends or whatever the fuck it's called, or if they're sponsored by Call of Duty. As long as they get a bag. And that's fine too, as long as you're transparent about the type of brand that you're building. You get me?
And absolutely. Well, shout out real quick. Shout out to Jackie. My wife, I love you. Thank you for support always. Shout out to BB, the homie.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Sirski is out here. All right, back to the show. My bad. I just had to shout out the homies.
No, you're good. I wanted to shout them out too because they've been there talking. But I did want to mention, be comfortable with doing free work at first to then get paid too. Because a lot of people that have this like attitude of like, I'm not doing stuff for free. It's like, Catalyst did stuff for free many times, right? And we were like, trying to bring value to the space. And really what it is not really so much like I want to be extractive and make a quick buck. It's like you put in value, you receive value. That's what it is, right? And that's just a natural thing too. If you put out value in the world, people will give you value back. It doesn't always have to be monetary as well. It could be opportunities to speak somewhere. It could be opportunities to appear somewhere. It can be an opportunity to join some like club or whatever. There's so many things of value that you can receive for putting value out there. So that's what I would add to this conversation.
Absolutely. No, you're totally right, man. I think there's a level of like building a proof of concept, right? That is really important for your personal brand or your business or whatever it is, right? You got to show brands what you're doing. And honestly, as a content creator, I don't think you should wait until you have a sponsored deal to make a piece of content, right? Like if you have a great idea, it's better to just make that content, whether it's sponsored or you're getting paid or not, because you don't know what the reaction is going to be, right? It could be a video that goes fucking extremely viral, for example, and now you get a lot of monetization opportunities from that, right? Or it could be a video that the brand itself that you did a video on finds extremely valuable to them, and now they hit you up directly and they want to work with you. You get me? So I think there's more worth of like just getting ideas out there and focusing on making that idea the best it can be and the highest quality it can be, right? To reach the biggest crowd or have the biggest reach, I should say, versus just focusing on like, no, I need to have a sponsor in order to do this, right?
Yeah, facts.
And another thing,
real quick. Yeah. I want to hop into what BB said. You got okay on everything big. I mean, everything big right now. That's fire. Listening to this and thinking how many creators I see post about working with this game and this platform, and then never see. Yeah, I mean, those are the grifters, man. Like, I love to make fun of them. They know who I'm talking to. They know I'm talking about them when I make fun of them too, and they can't say shit because they know it's the truth, right? And the fact of the matter is that a lot of these people truly just do this for the check. I think what makes us differently at Catalyst is we're not gonna pretend that we're like saints, right? We'll be the first ones to say, "Hey, sponsored," we're happy to, but we only work with the projects that we know we're gonna make content with, like over delivering the content to a degree, right? Like there's certain content agreements where they'll be like, we need 5 posts, and we end up doing like 15 because we actually had fun with this shit, and we actually enjoyed the process of what we were doing. Like, I'll be fully transparent right here on stream. Like, Mixmob is someone that we worked with as a sponsor, right? We work with them. We
shout out to Mixmob,
pretty much triple our deliverables every time we do anything with them because we end up having so much fun playing the game and creating, community around that game. And we've been working with Mixmob since late 2023. It's not the first, it's not like a recent development. Mixmob was actually one of the first sponsors to believe in Catalyst, right? And we were creating content around that game before they even came with any type of sponsorship. It was just like, hey, I see you guys playing our game. Would you like to talk about it some more and kind of dive in? And we were like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Did that. Then we parted ways for a little while. We still kept playing the game, still kept creating content. When they were ready to work together again, did it again,
Yep.
And that's what it's about. Like, yes, you could have sponsorships, but how are you building relationships that go beyond just a check or,
Facts,
a post,
Yeah. That's the most important part right there, bro. Right? Like, when you build long-term relationships, that's where like the real value is, right? Because that's when you can really start building alongside these people, right? But another thing that I wanted to touch on too, because I think this conversation, this topic is really important, right? Not only for creators to hear, but also just business owners and anybody starting a brand in general, right? I think is almost downright irresponsible for us as business owners, right? Because that's the thing, we're not just content creators, we're owners of a brand, right? It would be irresponsible of us not to work with sponsors or try to look for sponsors that fit our brand value and our ethos, right? Because Catalyst is no longer just the 3 of us or the 4 of us, right? We have a team to take care of. We have community members we want to take care of, right? So yeah, you have to monetize in some way, right? But I agree with what Missy was saying. It's all about what relationships you're building and what brand value you want to express through your brand, right? Like, what type of image, what type of culture. And for us, it's just exactly what Missy was saying, building cool shit with brands that we enjoy, we have fun with, and we will work with even if we weren't getting paid through them.
And those relationships can lead to them like building differently than they would have if we didn't work with them too, because we can have a little bit of I don't want to say influence, but a bit of direction for them if they are lost in a way. Like, there's sometimes where businesses like may come to us and they're like, please help us, and it's like whatever, and like, we do help them in that regard, and we're like, hey, I probably, like, me personally, just like looking, I'm like, they probably wouldn't have done the next thing that they were gonna do if they didn't fuck with us, right? So now they fuck with us. It's like, all right, now they're taking I want to say like they're taking notes on like how we do things and want to emulate, but like they're more inspired to do things in a certain way because we're like guiding them that way. So it's like a mutual benefit for both.
I think a lot of our biggest value as an Oregon Web3 is taking the risks that a lot of brands can't because they might have tokens, they might have investors. So in many ways, it's almost like our responsibility because of the freedom that we have, because we're like an independent, org, content creator org, to turn around and say, hey, let's try this out, or let's float this idea around, or, oh, let's tweet this out and see how people react. And then sometimes we take that feedback to our partners and we're like, all right, here you guys go. Like, this is how it was received. This is the feedback. This is what people think about it. Maybe it's not such a hot idea, but like we can take those risks because we're not in the same position as like, I'm not there, like some of these founders, they might have a fire idea and they come and, they bring that to us all the time. And they're like, yo, but if this flops, like my token's going down 50%, right? Or 20%, or my investors are going to be calling me and they're going to be pissed off. So it's like, and I understand that level of you know, I don't understand on a personal level, but I can imagine like how stressful that is, right?
Yeah.
Because not only do you have to deal with like investors calling you and like bitching at you, you also have to deal with people in your Discord. You also have to deal with people in your Twitter. So I think the biggest value we actually bring to this space is that fuck around and find out mentality, because we can kind of fuck around and find out for everyone else.
Yeah, and we like to experiment, bro. We're not afraid of failure, you know, in our brand. So like we use that just to like grow and make like fix our mistakes, learn from them, right, and like continue pivoting and continue innovating, right. So I'm definitely one of those people that likes to get experimental and have some fun. But let me give some shout outs real quick. Serge Sapien is saying free work is the best way to make an introduction to these projects. Absolutely, man.
True.
I mean, it opens up a lot of doors, right? And you, like I said, you never know what the reaction is going to be, so it can lead to a lot of opportunities.
It's your audition tape.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, actually. Beef Base is saying the reason I fuck with Catalyst is because it always feels like it's just the homies chopping it up, saying what's on their minds, bro. That's
True.
basically the culture that we want to build, right? That's what we're all. I mean, that's how it started, basically. It's
One
like
of these
the Xbox 360 party chat, you know.
Dude, one of these
So-
days we gotta like, you know, cam up, or like, you know, Mizzy can stay off camera, of course, but we need to like do it in the same room and just fucking pass the joint around and just talk.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Absolutely.
Yeah,
we're gonna put Missy in a ski mask, and then you know, we're gonna do that.
Hell yeah.
Call him Ski Master Slum God.
Nah, man. Nah. Like, that's literally how our brand was born, Beef. You know, and this is exactly what our team meetings are like. Like,
Oh, yeah.
we're basically essentially how we are on cameras, how we are everywhere else.
Yep.
In our team meetings, like a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, you guys are crushing it. You're professional." Our team meetings are like, I don't know, man. They're crazy.
They turn into roasts, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
Roasting each
when
other.
we have our headquarters, I'm just gonna have a specific time frame on the day that is called "Come Waste Time with Clouds," and it's just a one-on-one meeting with your CEO, and we just talk shit, man. If you want to curse, you can curse. If you want to fucking just vent, go ahead. But we just waste some time together, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if we're gonna go like into high fidelity camera, like full body stuff, I gotta start working out. I can't use this belly on camera. We can't do it.
What do you mean, bro? We're all approaching our dad bods,
Here
dad bods
here
era.
goes
You know,
Miss
we gotta
America
embrace it, bro.
What you say, Busy?
Here goes Miss America again.
Miss America.
Yeah, you remember the first time you started talking to me about being like a gym bro, and I was like, I remember when I was like a meathead, and I was like, that was my Miss America era. And you were like, hey, don't be calling me no Miss America.
I must have been high. I don't remember.
You were pretty big. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, when you go to the gym, how much do you actually work out, and how much do you spend time playing like bowl?
It depends on the day. Usually, I am hooping, but there's gyms that I go to specifically to work out. So if I go to the gym that's closer to me, they actually remove the basketball court. Fuck those niggas. But they remove the basketball court, and I can't play basketball there. So I do use that gym low-key as an excuse to not play basketball. And then when I go to the other one, usually the majority of my time spent is playing basketball, which is like 2 or 3 hours. But if I do have like a second wind, because sometimes I do, I don't know how I do it, but sometimes I do try and do like burnouts. So I don't know if you know what that. Do you know what burnouts are?
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes I do.
When you like
sometimes
burn out your muscles, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Sometimes we'll do a burnout workout after hooping. But
I used to do that shit all the time.
Yeah, but when I'm trying to focus on like certain like upper body, lower body, whatever, just like lifting, like I go to the other gym. So and it's closer too. So
okay.
But yeah.
Fair enough. All right. What are we seeing here in the screen, Missy? Is this WoW?
Yes, sir.
Oh, let's go. Yo, wow, it's
Just
actually
chilling.
looking pretty nice.
Chilling on some casual vibes, you know, playing some Web 2 games.
Yo, guys, everyone
Traitor!
chat, should we all make an account in WoW? Would you guys like to see some content from some like Web 2 games coming from us? Because I think it could be cool if we all jump in there, party up.
The only time I ever made an account in WoW was to troll some girl I knew.
Of course you would do that.
Of course. That is exactly
that's the only reason. That's the only reason I would expect you to buy WoW for. All right.
Yeah. So me and the homies back in the day, we were trolling some girl and guy because they were like lovers or something. So we were trolling them.
Like
both
game?
of them. Yeah.
Like
we
only in game.
we made a bunch of names to troll them. That's the only
Dude,
experience I have
do
with
you
WoW.
ever met have you ever met those people that like they actually have relationships, but it's only like in game, like RP type of stuff, like role play type of
Yeah,
stuff?
I had a wild girlfriend once.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not even going front, bro.
oh
Roast me,
shit,
go for it.
oh shit. You have a
But
WoW wedding
wait, how
too?
old were you when you did this?
I was like, and the thing is, like, I kept it separate from my personal life. So I had like a middle school girlfriend, and I had a wild girlfriend. I was 12, and we broke
Look
up
at
because
Jackie, bro.
I just stopped talking to her one day. Like, we never, to this day, we've technically never officially broken up. I just stopped talking.
Yo, Missy has a whole wife waiting for him inside the game and shit. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Man's gonna get hit with the WoW child support for
Yep.
have like a pet that you didn't take care of for years, bro. Like that's
Exactly, man.
Yo, that's funny as hell. No, but it's actually looking pretty nice, man. I never had a good experience with WoW, so I would like to try it out again. Maybe with you, since you are such a nerd about it. I could like learn from you and see
Yeah,
what's
for
up there.
sure. I
I
mean,
my experience with this game is that I always hated it because it was such a bad first experience you get me that I was just like, fuck this thing.
yeah, man. I mean, WoW is something that I feel like a lot of people take it super seriously. I played the game at a very serious level. But it ain't that serious, bro. You feel me? Like, just chill. Like, it should be fun for everyone.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, it looks like a fun game. You know me and MMOs, man. I'm very special when it comes to
It's
them.
it's okay. I have a fourth grade boyfriend I stopped talking to and never broke up with him officially neither. There you go.
Damn,
What
bro.
the
We're in
hell?
the, we're in the same boat.
Fourth grade's a fucked up year to
That's
do
it.
that on, Jackie. That's
Jackie, you weren't even supposed to know the word boyfriend before me, so immediately,
Oh,
oh shit.
immediately for the street. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. I love
yo, this is crazy. This is crazy.
We have it
I'm
here
gonna,
live on the
I'm gonna
Catalyst
get kicked. I'm
Effect,
gonna
guys.
get kicked out of my house, bro.
Yeah, Missy. If we see Missy disconnect in the next 5 minutes, we all know what happened, guys. We all know what happened. Yo, but let's get into some gaming topics, man, because we have some crazy news happening in this space, and we have a lot to talk about. The first one I wanted to get into is the whole hack that happened with Gala and their token. They got hacked for 5 billion tokens, bro.
You
How
mean
are
the
you guys?
rug?
Yo, let's talk about that for a second. How are you guys feeling about this? What do you think that's gonna look like as far as like what effects it's gonna have in the Gala ecosystem? Not that they were doing too great in the first place, but with this hack happening, that's fucking nuts. Also in the chat, guys, let us know what you think about it. But Missy, what do you think about all of this, bro? Because 5 billion tokens, this reminds me a lot of like the Axie hack, you
I
know?
think Classy's, man.
We're gonna see Classy selling notes again, bro. Like, oh shit.
Oh, nah, man. Like, I don't know. It's all very suspicious. There was the part where Bitbender a couple days before the hack was like, I'm no longer going to be the CEO of Gala or whatever the fuck. I'm running like an outside organization. I don't know. That shit looks sus, bro.
Bro,
Are you suggesting that not Bitboy? What the fuck?
Bitbender?
Bitbender. Sorry. Are
Yeah,
you suggesting
like
that
he's like the
Bitbender-
fat? He's like the fat Lex Luthor, bro. Yeah.
You think
Listen,
that
bro.
he did this?
Yeah.
Listen,
absolutely.
bro. For all we know, Bitbender was the outside company, you know.
Bro, all
No,
I'm
but
saying
listen, I
is
was reading on the
I can't
article.
trust a guy that looks both like Lex Luthor and the guy from fucking Austin Powers at the same time. So, I like the fat version.
Like Mike Myers, bro. Damn.
Yeah. No, not Mike Myers. Yeah, Mike Myers. Yeah, Dr. Evil.
Austin Powers, or no?
Yeah.
It's Dr. Evil. Too.
He's like Dr. Evil meets fucking Lex Luthor in a fat suit. I can't trust that. I'm sorry.
Bro. Well, I was reading on the hack, and it did say that the hack came from somebody that had administrative power, and it's still unsure if it was an internal attack or external. So
definitely sounding like an inside job. CoffeeZilla, get on it right now. CoffeeZilla, you love to expose the crypto space because we're all a bunch of fucking scammers. Go after us.
Yo, guys, everybody spam CoffeeZilla in the comments. Put them in the comments of the stream. Tag this man. Let's get to the bottom of this.
It is.
Yo, I haven't seen a CoffeeZilla video in forever.
I'm truly convinced that it was an inside job. Like, if I'm being honest, and I'm saying 1,000% how I actually feel, there's no way that wasn't an inside job. I'm sorry.
I mean, bro, I find it pretty crazy that they didn't stop it in any ways until the hacker had already made like $20 million.
Yeah,
That's fucking insane to me, bro. you know,
Just
I
like
mean, unless they were working at a freaking insane speed, because I have no idea what software was used for the hack or any of that type of stuff. But you know, it was obviously a hack on the smart contract, right? So
look, okay, let's keep it a buck. Gala is I'm gonna steal this take from someone else. I forgot who said it, but it's a bunch of Web 2 games trying to be Web 3. They weren't truly Web 3 games. Some of them were cool, some of them never came out. And the whole chain just they had like a huge node thing going on, so you could like have your own node and like validate transactions or whatever. It's just not gonna make it, bro. And then they went movies and music. Like,
yeah,
they're
I was
all
gonna say
over.
that. I don't think Gala knows what they want to do. Like, I think they just went into so many different sectors that they haven't really figured out a way on how to like pivot any of their sectors. You get me, into a heavy way, in my opinion. Like the music thing, like they had Snoop Dogg in there at one point, and then nothing came out of that. You get me?
Yeah.
The movie thing, I forgot who they were working with. I don't want to say it was Netflix. It was somebody huge too, though, and nothing came out of that either. They bought a whole mobile game studio, and that's been the biggest acquisition for Gala, in my opinion. That they bought that mobile game studio because that gave them a lot of users into those particular games. And the whole thing they pitched is that they were going to revise all of those games from the game studio and start making them Web3, and they didn't do that. So like, and then Spider Tank. I mean, I'm not even gonna get into Spider Tanks.
Bro,
Like
I
that
think
shit was
first
crazy.
game night I hosted in Web3 was Spider Tanks.
The game
And I
used to
wish
be good, man. I don't know
I
what
wish I
happened
could
to
have
it.
my virginity back.
yo, hey, yo. Look, all I want to
Yo, that's
say is
crazy.
like, not to do comparisons, right? But when you look at like a chain like Sui versus like Gala, oh, we lost him.
Oh, he's gone. But go ahead.
David is here now, but he's not even here. Yeah, when it comes to a chain like Gala, what they should have done is focus on the product itself, right? They should have stopped going into different, because let's be honest, like I don't think everyone when you say the word Gala, you don't think, besides Apple, you don't think about movies and music. You think about the games they put out, because that was like their first venture, right? So like Sui came out or is coming out with some kind of console stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're embracing the gaming culture, even though like they're more than gaming. They're gaming focused, right? As a chain, they're gaming focused. Gala is not gaming focused as a chain. So I think that besides the fact that the hack is going on, there's other problems internally with the ideology of what Gala is bringing to the table. They're trying to be this all one glove fits, or the one glove fits all sizes kind of thing, and it's just not working because nobody knows what they're trying to do with Gala anymore. They don't even know, in my opinion, what they're trying to do. The thumbs up came up for you. What the fuck?
What the fuck? That was so weird, dude.
Yeah, to wrap up my point, I just think that they don't know what they're doing, and the lead guy stepping down is not good, because now they're like, who's going to direct this thing?
Yeah,
Like,
who's leading that, right? Because
I mean, was there leadership at all? Anyways,
it was a bunch of
well,
like
I think
shutting
there was
people
like
out.
right. I think there was like, I don't know, man. They've had such a fucking weird trajectory, you know. Like I feel like Gala has just had way too much controversial at this point. You get me? Controversy at this point. Like
Yeah,
the thing that happened with creators calling them out for like you know, dropping them, and then that thing that happened with that one dude that was like all salty about him getting dropped from his sponsorship deal with them and shit. Like, you get me? I just feel like their image is almost tainted at this point in the space. And on top of that, this hack, it's just
Can we-
took this to a whole nother level. You get
can
me?
we dive into that real quick? Because
yo, shout out Ola. That's the homie. Appreciate you showing up to the
what's
stream.
up?
Yo, what up, Ola?
Can we get into that? Because I want to ask you guys a question. So in that whole thing, was the whole dispute with, you know, the main guy from Gala and him about like him not getting paid and fudding it, like saying that it's not good, like as a product? Like, what was the whole like thing?
Wait, who we talking about? We're talking
Yeah,
about the Jake thing, the motherfucker that was getting paid $20K a month.
Yes.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the way I took that is that the dude was just being greedy.
Nah, he was being a little bitch. Like, that's
He was
not
being
Gala.
greedy as fuck. He got paid a shit ton of money, and whatever happened there happened. You get me?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
'Cause
just
he-
how I took it from what
he's-
was said.
He started fudding it, and then he started phrasing it like, "Oh, we can't criticize something that we're working on. What the hell?" And I'm like thinking, if you're
It
part of
wasn't
the
even
team,
It wasn't
you're
even
not
about
allowed.
that. Yeah. And I remember, like, what happened was this motherfucker, they told him to stop talking about the token. The same reason Akashi doesn't work with them. They told him, stop talking about the token, because we're
Yep.
going to get sued. You're not going to get fucking sued. We are.
Yep.
And he was like, well, the token gives me views. And they were like, well, tough shit. You're out, basically. You know? So, I mean, he did it for the views. They were willing to keep paying. I don't know what the internal deals. Like, I read the chats and shit because it got aired out on Twitter at the time. And I remember, like, the communications between both companies were horrible on his side and on the Gala side. But at the end of the day, bro, like, if the blockchain tells you stop talking about the fucking token because we're gonna get sued, it's very
Stop
simple.
talking about the fucking token, dude. That's your
fuck up.
sponsor. That's your sponsor. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
you're sponsored by this company, right? That you have to have some middle ground. It can't just be about you. Also, like, bro, like, this whole thing is so fucking stupid, dude. Like, the dude started flooding the game, right? After he had sold all of his shit in the game. Like, I remember he had also sold all of his nodes, right? Or some shit like that.
Yep.
And also, bro, like, the thing with this type of drama is that you never get the whole side, like the whole story, right? You only get the DMs that they want to show from each side, right? So it's so hard to actually build an honest opinion of what happened because you never know who's actually telling the whole truth, you know? So I don't know, man. That was just a whole stupid drama thing. And the guy was just being salty, in my opinion, that he didn't get paid more.
To me, Gala is a company you invest in if you heard crypto gaming is like a thing, but you don't know shit about games or crypto.
I agree with that take. Actually,
like,
that was me a few years ago. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like I don't know shit about anything, but I heard crypto gaming is gonna pump. Fuck it, I'll put a couple of $100 into Gala or a couple thousand, you know, depending on what your risk tolerance is.
Yeah,
that's who invests in Gala.
And I will say, like, the only flowers that I want to give to a game like Spider Tanks is, at least for me personally, when I found the time that I found out about Gala, there wasn't really a lot of games working with the whole renting system, pilot system type of structure, right? And that was one feature that I thought was pretty cool for a Web3 game, right? Because it allowed users to get in it without having to purchase any NFTs. I'm not saying they perfected that feature in any way, because the conversion rate for earning the SIL token or whatever the fuck it was called was ass. You get me? And it made no fucking sense. But at least it did. I did love that feature about the game. You get me? And that was an opportunity for new users to be able to earn inside the game without having to purchase anything, without having to open a wallet, none of that shit. You get me?
Yep,
so it was an innovative thing at the time, yeah, because now many games have that feature and they've perfected it in many other ways that Gala didn't. You get me? But I did like that feature. Yo, we got a Titis asking if that's World of Warcraft on the screen. It is indeed, my friend. It is indeed.
Titis, we are out here in the Web 2 streets. I went back to my ex. I don't give a fuck. She was thicker than a Snicker, and I couldn't say no, bro.
Yo, that's
Good
crazy,
call.
dude. I'm not going back to my ex, guys. I'm staying off of that for a long time, for as long as I can, bro.
I'm still in a toxic relationship
I
with
don't
me.
blame. I don't
Hado
blame
goes back to his ex. Hado goes back to his ex every other weekend. He goes back to Valorant every other fucking weekend. Exes.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the other one? Street Fighter or something, or Smash?
No,
Fighter.
your ex was worse than mine though. Like
my ex is horrible, bro.
Just got a little boring. Your ex is like, bro, you hop into any of those lobbies and you practically need to be a bot to compete.
Bro,
on top of all the other shitty things that happen with it.
My ex is like, if you were super wealthy, right? And you got into a marriage without a prenup, and then you got divorced. That was like my ex. You get me?
Yeah,
my ex just took everything, bro.
My ex was like, "I love you, baby. You can come back to me whenever you
anytime."
want. Yeah,
that's not an ex, bro.
I keep putting hope in my ex, and nothing ever changes.
I mean, yo, this fucking guy.
Yo, the metaphors we're dropping right now is fire.
I was watching a Scump video like 3 days ago, and it's the one where he has 88 kills in the snipe montage.
That's fucking wild, yeah.
In the comments, everybody's like, "This could never happen today," because the lobby this motherfucker would get put into afterwards. Forget about it because of the skill-based matchmaking. And it's so true, bro. Like,
well, that's true. I think people are forgetting who the fuck Scumpy is. You get me?
no,
The
they're saying like an
motherfucking-
upcoming talent couldn't be able to do.
Oh, hell
Yeah.
no. Hell
Yeah.
no, dude.
That's what
You
they
have to
mean.
be-
Like maybe Scump, but upcoming talent wouldn't even get the amount of practice reps that someone like
Nah,
Scump
bro.
did because of all the skill-based lobbies. You know?
Yeah, dude. People like that, bro. People like Scump. People like Shotzi. You get me? People like Dashy. These kids are like the 1% of gamers, bro. You get me? Like they're like those people are on another fucking level, bro. And you can put in 12 hours a day on the game, you may still not reach that level of skill. And that's just the reality of it, bro. Like it's just what it is. You get me? Like trust me, bro. Those kids are like on the 1% of gamers when it comes to competitive gaming. Like they're on a fucking whole nother level. You get me? Like Shotzi was talking mad. I mean, not Shotzi. Dashy was talking mad shit on X Defiant the other day, and it had nothing to do with skill. It was just he was talking about the movement, like the way
Yeah, I
that
saw that.
the player was pulling to the left every time he was trying to ADS. You get me? Like shit like that, bro. And that he noticed that within 5 seconds of the game. You get me? So it's fucking wild what those kids can do. But yeah, I agree with you 100%, bro. That's something you cannot do currently in Call of Duty anymore. There's no such thing as pop stomping anymore. There's no such thing as like, yo, I'm gonna go in there and just fucking dominate this entire free-for-all lobby. You get me? Where I'm gonna get to 30, I'm gonna be so far out from everybody else that I can sit here and do trick shots all day long and nobody's gonna catch up to me. You get what I'm saying? Like those type of lobbies, you cannot do that anymore in Call of Duty.
It's not even like our Call of Duty has just evolved into Warzone. Let's be honest. Like no one really gives a fuck about their main.
It's either Warzone or rank play, bro. It's
Yeah.
Warzone, and the problem with Call of Duty is that rank play never fucking comes out when the game comes out. It is the biggest criticism that they've been receiving for fucking almost 7 years. You get me? Why the fuck don't you release a rank play when the game comes out? You always do that shit. You wait 6 months to release this shit. Then everybody gets fucking fascinated by Warzone, and nobody wants to play the fucking actual multiplayer game. You get me? Like, bro, that game became so stupid. And
Hey, but
I'm gonna use the word stupid because I can't say the other word I want to say.
Oh well, you can still you can still get your skins, bro. Your Nicki Minaj, your fucking
Fuck
Lionel
the
Messi.
Nicki Minaj bullshit shit, man.
Yo.
I want the original fucking diamond camo back, bro. I want the original gold camo. Fuck this fucking bitch twerking in the air while you're getting a kill. That shit is ass. That shit is so ass, bro.
Yo, my guy is pissed.
Dude, yeah. This is why I haven't gone back to my ex-girlfriend, guys. But listen, before we move on to the next topic here, I do want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors. Let's give a shout out to Alpaca Dash real quick. We're going to tell you guys a little bit about them, and we'll be right back into the show.
Alpacas! Now to have your attention, today's episode is sponsored by DeFi Land. And on DeFi Land, you can play Alpaca Dash. Alpaca Dash shatters the mold of ordinary idle racing games. Dive into a world of strategic depth with a vast array of tactics to conquer any environment. Unleash your alpaca's unique strength and craft the perfect skill combinations to dominate the race course. Every competition is a thrilling odyssey bursting with stunning visuals and an electrifying soundtrack that fuels your epic showdown. The unexpected awaits at every turn. Prepare for heart-pounding comebacks that will keep you on the edge of your seat from the starting line to the checkered flag. Are you guys ready to unleash your inner champion? If so, head on over to almightyalpacas.com and start racing today. Almightyalpacas.com. Almightyalpacas.com.
Almighty Alpaca.com. I can't do it, but that was dope.
Bro.
Yo,
You're
shout
off beat,
out-
man.
I know, man.
Bro hates my ears, bro.
Dude, that's how you wake up. That's how you wake up. But shout outs to Alpaca Dash. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We really appreciate you guys. Rico and Paquito are still in Alpaca training camp, guys. We're really working them hard for the next races. The first ones we did was just a huge disappointment for me and Missy. So, you know, they're in training. They're in training.
And shout outs to
Very
Otto
good.
for that great ad read.
Yeah, shout outs to the boy Hado.
Shout
You know,
out.
he was
Shout out to
looking.
Hado. He's this new intern we brought into Catalyst. He does a pretty good job.
Yeah,
A new intern. Oh, wow.
You know, we asked him to do an ad.
New title.
Damn, that was a big demotion right there.
I know.
Damn,
Like, fuck
rough,
me.
rough. That's rough. That's rough. Yo, but let's hop into the next topic here, guys.
Yo, you guys
Next
see
up-
my dragon, bro? Look at this shit.
Well, stop
What the fuck
moving.
is that shit?
There you
My
go.
Is
dragon
that a
now,
lizard?
bro.
Bro, you riding on top of Surge Sapien?
Yes, sir.
Isn't that
Bruh.
Mushu?
I'm out here with Sersky.
Isn't that
Bro,
Mushu
seriously,
from
Calda's
Mulan?
meant to get off, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, that looks like Mushu, bro.
It's Mushu on crack, homie.
It's
Yeah.
like a lightning dragon,
See?
right?
Web3 games. You give me some shit like this, I'll probably sell it for like an ETH on the marketplace, but it would also go viral on the timeline.
They're like, yo, let's put Eddie Murphy in the game
It
for
ain't
real.
hard.
Let's put Eddie Murphy in the game. This guy, bro. No, it looks like some type of like lightning dragon, right?
I mean, yeah, they just wanted to make sure he was the right. A little too dark though.
Wait, say that again. You cut out.
Yeah, you were cutting off for a second.
I think
Oh, we're losing. Now we're losing. Like this is the greatest episode. We lost Cloud for like 5 minutes, or not 5, like 2 minutes, and now we're losing Mizzy. Like Mizzy can't talk anymore.
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Wait, can you guys not hear me?
I can hear you, but Mizzy can't hear.
Can
Can
you
you
hear
hear
me?
me, Missy? I hear you, Missy. I hear you.
Yeah.
All right, are we all good? Chat, are
Cloud
we
is
good?
here. I'm here.
What the
Otto's
fuck is
getting
happening,
rugged.
bro? We're
I'm not
too
getting
high.
rugged. I'm
We're
here.
getting too high.
I've heard every single word you
No,
said.
I just knew if I said some such shit, you'd confirm whether or not you could hear me.
Guys, we're so high that we
Did
don't
you?
even need to smoke anymore. We're just permanently high. All right, we're good. We're
Yeah.
good. Everything
I'm
is good.
I'm drinking water. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm drinking water.
Hey, she's
What's that got to
health,
do?
not wealth.
Okay, you can get high and drink water.
But I'm not. I ain't doing that right now.
This guy's
Hey, bro,
acting like it's an optional thing.
Let
It
me
is
tell you
optional.
something, bro. They sell some nice syrup. You know, you can put it in your water, and you can drink
Yeah,
your
they
water
do
and
have.
get high.
They do have drinks now.
I'm just saying. Just
That
saying.
is
They-
crazy.
They
Educate
do have
yourself.
drinks.
Technology has come so far.
No, I saw. There's this like Instagram page that I follow. It's like a smoke shop, and they have fucking drinks in there. I'm like, oh shit.
Yo,
Yeah,
to
check
that
out.
point, how dope would it be to have like buy your weed on Shane, right? And then you can you own like the strain. You own like the strain. You get me? And then you can see like all the fucking
Fuck.
chemical
Yeah.
compounds and like the way it was grown, like all that type of shit. That would be cool.
Oh,
I
you're
would,
talking about
I would
supply
invest.
chain?
Yeah, I would invest into that.
Isn't that what V Chain is trying to do? But nobody cares.
That's
Oh,
mass
yeah.
adoption. Oh, so you saying COD is still your favorite shooter? I would say COD is still the best shooter. It
Yeah,
just
It's
it
definitely the
just
most popular.
sucks. Like COD just loses to COD. You know.
By the way, guys, when I'm talking about COD, you gotta understand that I'm referring to from a competitive point of view, right? And like a
The best
competitive
shooter-
player, we already play competitive, right? We be playing the CDL league, whatever you're playing, right? As a competitive player. So when we play pub or like we play public games, right? We don't want to play competitive games in there. We want to have fucking fun. We want to go for the trick shots. We want to just pump stomp. You get me? We want to do all those things that we used to do, and that was part of the culture of Call of Duty. That's when I say the game has fallen downhill. Obviously, anybody that loses at Call of Duty is still the highest grossing like shooter, probably. You get me? That's out there right now. So yeah,
The
I mean,
best-
a lot of people are still a fan of it,
The best shooter is Luka Doncic.
bro. All right, you're seriously getting
I
demoted
thought-
to a fucking intern.
I thought he was gonna say Valerie. I was about to fight this bitch. He pulls out a left with Luca. I love it. I can't argue Luka Doncic, man.
Yep. and the best dancer in the world is Rudy Gobert.
Oh, that's fucked.
It's
Rudy
who?
Gobert.
Rudy Goldberg, come on, man.
Gobert. Yeah, Rudy Gobert. He got crossed up by Luca. It's a basketball thing, man. I know you
Yeah.
don't watch basketball.
Yeah, man, you
I
hitting
don't-
me with this
I don't
reference
mean
that
to
I don't
troll.
understand. Yeah, I don't understand this reference, man. I'm confused.
How to use confusion? Cloud's just confused.
Yeah, a question mark is gonna appear.
Cloud's hurt himself. and confused.
Yo,
Shut up, Pokemon.
Cloud's been stunned by the comment that how to just make.
Bruh.
Yo, look what B said. Read it.
Laughing and having fun with the crew is way more important to me than being competitive. Unless I'm playing goalie in a show, it's all business. I feel that, man. I feel that, but that's what I'm saying. You can't do that in Call of Duty anymore. You can't laugh and have fun with the crew anymore because when you go in, there's luck and time, baby.
You can't do
Bro,
that.
I don't know
in
if
Nyan Heroes either.
I don't know if I can do that shit in. I was gonna say I don't even know if I can do that shit in Web3 anymore because I have one bad game in 9 Heroes. There was this motherfucker like a week ago, right? I was having one of my friends from Web2 who isn't traditionally an FPS player or shooter player or anything. They just wanted to try the game that they saw me playing at the crib, and they sucked. Some motherfucker, and and the one game that this person, they sucked ass cheeks. Don't get me wrong, like they were trash, but she knew that she was gonna suck going into it. And the one game that this person saw me suck, they were tweeting at me like, "Bro, you're trash." It's like,
Yeah,
my goodness,
dude.
man.
Actually, speaking of Nyan, yo, speaking of Nyan, I actually encountered my first hacker inside Nyan the other day. And it was
for
this
real?
dude. He was just like, yeah, he was just literally walling everyone, bro. It didn't matter where you were in the map. He was just getting headshots every single time. Like, I could be behind a wall, headshot. I could be on top, headshot. I could be inside my base, headshot. So,
Damn.
don't know what the fuck that was because that's the first time I've ever seen that in the game. But yeah, it was
That's
really
crazy.
fucked up. I actually forgot what the gamer tag of the guy was. But I'm pretty sure he's in the leaderboard, like in the top, at least in the top 10.
How many players are cheating in this game? That's a great fucking topic.
I don't know, because now that made me question a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, 'cause that was straight up cheating. There's no way, like that wasn't a lag thing. That wasn't no fucking bug or anything. That was straight up. The guy was cheating, hands down. Yeah.
Anyone in the top 500 not named OX Mizzy is probably cheating. I'm pretty sure. I'm just
That's
kidding.
a cope. That's a cope, bro. Holy cope.
This man, bro.
Holy cope.
What's your actual rank in the leaderboard?
And when I was actually trying, I think the highest I got to was like 510, and then now I'm like at 13,000. Like I stopped trying.
God damn!
Yeah.
I didn't even knew that we were that high in the league. Holy fuck!
I think
Yeah.
I'm 7,000 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like 6,000 something.
Yeah,
fuck, I'm in 13,000, bro.
I completely stopped trying, man. I completely
That's
stopped
fucking
trying.
crazy. Dude.
So did the rest
I
of the
stopped.
team.
I stopped trying with objective. I'm literally just going for KD right now. Like
So did the rest of the players in this fucking community.
yeah, right now,
Yeah.
like I just got tired of trying so fucking hard to win every game. Like that's why I get why Otto's frustrated, right? Like,
Yep.
It's an objective game, bro. That's not gonna change
Yeah.
until the ad comes or they add like new game
Yeah.
modes.
Well, I mean, I'm not as upset about it as Otto is. Like, I'm not upset at all. I was just like,
you're not.
shit is what it is, right? But you know, I went through a phase where I was, you know, I was sweating every fucking game. I was playing the tank, you know, doing like 20K damage, 10, 15K blocks every fucking game, 20, 25 kills, like doing the most just to win in Nyan, right? And then I was like, my fingers hurt, man. Like, this is a lot of work. So I just went back to Ghost and Spartan, picked up the snipe, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have at least a nice KD. Fuck the goddamn rank.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm chilling at like a 10 something KD now. I mean,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, chilling.
It's pretty good, man. Yeah, no, I feel that, man. If you guys want a teammate that has really good communication, all right, plays as a ghost and is a sniper, hit me up. Because I do have the best fucking communication, bro. I'll give you the
easily.
fucking best. Come straight up. You just gotta shoot. All you gotta do is shoot straight, bro. Shoot straight. If you can shoot straight, we're good.
This guy out here will literally, like, I can confirm this. Whenever I'm playing with Kyle, this motherfucker give you the play-by-play of the entire thing.
Bro, my communications are like an Amazon 5-star review, bro. You feel me? Like that shit is straight up like everything you need to know. You know?
That's someone who got mail type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what they should do is force all the players to go through a tutorial that's so painful that you have to play objective now, and then people will have to play the game right. That's what I think. Make people suffer.
I mean, you know, I feel like people just don't take it seriously because people are more focused on the missions and the airdrop.
The rank does matter too. The rank matters too.
Yeah, but like, I just don't feel like not everybody's gonna have the time and the skill to make it to the rank where it matters. You get me? Like, I'm ranked 6,000 and something, bro. My rank does not matter. You get me? Like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, I'm talking about in terms of the airdrop. I think it does play a
right,
role.
but what I'm trying to say is that those people that don't have the skill to make it up that high, they're gonna focus on getting their airdrop from somewhere else, right? It's not gonna be from the rank.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing. Most of the player base not care about how you actually has to play how you have to play the game.
Yeah, because they're farming. They don't give a fuck. Nobody cares.
Exactly.
I just want a nice KDA, man. I don't give a fuck about no airdrop. I don't give a fuck about no rank. I just want I just want a double-digit KDA, and I am happy.
Let me give you an example. It's like someone wearing a headband, fucking wrist sleeve, fucking, like they look like an NBA player, right? They try to look the part, and then they fucking airball every time they shoot. That's how
Well,
the player
also,
base.
also, I'm pretty sure the KD on this game is calculated by wins and losses. It's not your kill death ratio. You get what I'm saying? So
It does say
you're,
kills and deaths on the screen.
No, they have a
but
KDA. Yeah.
they do. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
because
Yep.
I thought the leaderboard was based on your wins and losses. And
Oh,
that's
the
how they
leaderboard is
calculated that
based on
ratio.
wins and losses.
Yeah,
but
because that's your rank.
The
okay.
Mizzy Eagle board is based on KD.
I like that. I like that. I'm gonna look at my Klaus Eagle board when I get home. Because we need to check that.
Ego board series. I need to see that. What that would look like.
Yo, but speaking of Nyan, let's talk about the whole fucking airdrop campaign, right? Because there was a shit ton of drama around the claim, right? And a lot of people not being able to claim their catnip.
A bunch of
Obviously,
babies.
That was a cultural moment.
I feel like that too, but yeah, the Discord was on fire. You know, like
No,
how
that
are you
was-
guys?
The Discord was
was
filled
really
with
much-
penis.
You guys were actually more involved in this because I was actually in my office when all of this was going down, and
Mhm.
you guys were like live in the fucking Discord.
Go ahead, Miz. I know you want to talk.
Oh my god, man! This was probably one of my favorite cultural moments of 2024. Like, it was mayhem. Shout out to the fucking CM over at Nine Heroes. You deserve therapy, maybe a vacation, a foot rub, a massage,
Mental
some money,
therapy.
extra money, or something, bro. Damn, they were ripping you to shreds.
They
For
were.
real, dude. For real.
Holy shit, they were eating this man alive. They had classy stripping. I mean, streaming. He was streaming on Discord to entertain the masses while people were waiting to claim the airdrop. I mean, it was nuts. People were livid. It was one of the I've never seen. It was like an angry mob moment. It was crazy. There was penises being spammed in the chat.
Yep.
It's fucking wild.
It felt like a Twitch chat, low key. Like it felt like old Twitch.
Yeah, but go ahead, Otto. You go.
Yeah, no, it felt like an old Twitch chat. The guy that was like playing with Classy and like giving out catnip and like I think they were giving out NFTs as well because they're like we gotta do something, right? So like they're giving out NFTs and so I think that was the plan anyways. Actually, I don't think it was like damage control, but it was like a whole event they were trying to do. And the entire time, no one could mint. And then someone found a way to like get into the website that was like the third party user of the claimable thing. And they were like saying, I can't claim. And then I was looking at like the forum, like the message boards on Discord. And people were like putting like fake links and stuff. And they were speaking in Turkish or something. So like different communities were trying to scam folks and stuff. It was just a mess. Like it was a hot mess. Like,
oh yeah, man. Whenever you have
was
like
crazy.
some type of claim or mint and it goes south, that's like the biggest opportunity window for scammers to come in and try to like fucking fish people out, right? Like, oh no,
Yeah.
this is the right claim website. Click here instead. And
Yeah.
a lot of
and
people fall for that shit, you know?
there were so many posts on Twitter like claim the airdrop now, even though everyone was told like there is no airdrop right now because of the tool being down.
Yeah.
And then like the lack of communication wasn't really on Nyan's part because the people that were giving like the airdrop to like the actual tool, they weren't responding for a while. At least that's what they said. And everyone was like, like you guys are dumping on us. And it's like, they're saying no, like our token is locked for like a while or something, like the team's token. So like they can't actually touch it apparently. And then what was funny was the price was going up after a while because like no one could like sell or anything. So like the price was just shooting up. And Classy would check out the price. He's like, "How we doing, boys? Price is going up, man. It's going up. It's burning." And everyone,
the whole
like,
fucking chat
like,
goes
mayhem.
crazy.
read the room,
Yeah.
bro. I was like, read the room. Classy.
Everybody's like going mayhem in the Discord. Who the fuck gives a shit about that?
Everybody, I was there for one of those where he's like, price is going up, and they're like, fucking get this guy off the stage, like fuck this guy, because it's like, bro, no one can sell, so no one cares.
I couldn't count on my fingers how many times I read the word scam. Like,
Yeah,
everyone was running to like, and their mom was running to the fucking keyboard to write scam, and like you just see like a lot of broken English. So you could tell like people aren't natively English speakers,
Yeah.
and they probably need that money for obvious reasons, right? So, the event was, I stayed up until 8 a.m. because I was like, I was trying to, be in the moment. I was trying to, I was trying
Dump.
to
You were
ball
trying
out.
to dump. You were trying to
Yeah,
dump.
yeah, I
That's
was.
what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
Stand on business.
yeah, I was
Standing
trying to
on
sell out.
business, bro.
I was
And-
also trying to dump. So
Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, we were in the group chat talking, but like looking back on it all, I thought it like the anger outpouring was a little silly, but I understand like the price is live. This should have been done beforehand. It shouldn't have been done like the day of. Like honestly, we should have had our tokens before the public listing, but you got to get the bag paid, the VC's paid, and all that shit. And
Listen,
that's kind of the bad part about this whole thing.
That was the one part about the whole thing that I found really fucking stupid. Like, no offense to Max and Squad, we've had them on this show like 2 weeks ago. I don't know what the deal was. I don't know, investors and advisors, they get really opinionated around this time of a project when it comes to TGE. All of a sudden, everybody got a fucking opinion.
Yep.
I can tell you because I've seen it happen like so many times.
Yep.
I've seen projects that we work with where like their advisors, they won't say shit in the group chat, but all of a sudden tokens coming out, these motherfuckers sing like canaries, right?
And
so
here's go ahead,
I don't know what Max and his crew's plan was, but the fact that they just didn't airdrop it like a week ago, to me was kind of, it was weird.
And there will be more airdrops, so that's the whole reason why everyone's gaming now and trying to climb that leaderboard. But I think also the bigger issue for me with the token, and this is like most of Web3 gaming tokens, like Illumia did something with EKS finally, which is like making me excited again to play the game more because it's like now this token is used for something in game. Finally, right? And that's where it's like Nyan doesn't have anything to spend this token on, right? So I know that's probably in the pipeline, but immediately in the immediate future, what do you expect? It's going to be speculation and people trying to make money off the speculation. So, I mean, right now, I don't understand why a token needs to come out. But again, I do understand at the same time what the meta is. I just think that if games want to have this good PR instead of constantly having negative PR and people like Seth coming in like, hey, the whole space doesn't care about the games and stuff. It's like we don't have nothing to spend a token with. Like, I can't go buy some skins with the token.
I was on some space with Carney, our homie OX1, and a couple other people, and everybody's like, "Oh, Web3 gamers are extractive. They play the games and then they dump the token." And Inhuman actually hopped on. He was like, "All right, tell me one thing I could do with any token that's launched." He's like, "The only fucking utility is to sell the shit."
Yeah.
And literally, the space was over. Nobody had anything else to say. What are you gonna say? Yeah, that was it. Final boss defeated.
For real though.
That's the alt boss in Dark Souls after the two-headed Hydra.
No. Yeah, so it was a very funny space because everybody had like their takes ready. Like you can tell these motherfuckers had the clipboards out, right? Like, they were ready to roll. And he was like, "Give me a token sync, I won't sell. Right now, the only utility behind any of these gaming tokens is for me to airdrop it and for me to sell."
Yep.
I was like, "Damn, been facts."
Yeah, and that's where I agree with Hado. Like, once more games have like an in-game store or an in-game items that you can purchase with the token, you get me? That's when we're gonna see this big shift, right? Of like the two types of crowds that live inside Web3 gaming, right? Like the actual gamers that wanna like have stuff to do with the token in-game and other stuff too, right? And the people that live off of speculation, right? And they just want to trade and dump or whatever, sell the token whenever they see profits, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I know a lot of like the big meta was like in-game advertising and stuff, and that right there could be some utility for a token too, because you could be like, I put this in game, I have some kind of reward. It's like low key, it's a node or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways to dress it up, and I don't mean dress it up to like, scam people. I'm saying dress it up to like use the technology that is already makes sense in gaming. Like imagine if the statue right here next to Mizzy right here in the game was like some NFT or of some sort, and if they branded it a certain way, there's some money flow between who will partner with them or whatever. Like that's the kind of things that people don't even think about doing in their own games.
Listen, I would love that. I would personally go buy tokens just to put up BBL Mizzy billboards, man.
Oh my god!
For
I created a monster.
real, dude. For real, dude. One thing about the whole Nyan drama thing that happened, I think you said this, Missy, in the chat. I just wish there would have been a lot more memes coming out of it and people finding more of the comedic side of things
they were
rather
so
than just like
whack.
taking it so seriously, you know? Because I think you were the only one that dropped a fucking meme that I saw.
mean,
Yeah.
Nyan did make a meme themselves.
Oh
but
yeah,
it's
Max dropped a meme too. Yeah, like you know, but that came from the Nyan account. That's
But
you know?
you know, it was. I'm just saying, it was after I posted mine.
That's true.
I'm just saying, like, everyone was mad about this shit, and I was just like, come on, man. Like,
I mean, this goes back to what I was saying, that like we influence the companies to then do things that we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was, you know, and the only reason, guys, I'm saying that with such bravado is because we've had chats with Matt about memes and what they do for games. We're not, you know, shooting vaporware up my ass, but you know, at the end of the day, we are gamers. We are the original degenerates, and that's what people need to understand. Like, why the fuck does everybody take the shit so seriously? I was pissed about the airdrop. I'm not gonna lie to you. It doesn't change my outlook on the game. I'm not a pussy. But you know, overall, like, was I personally upset about the airdrop? Yeah. Like, I was upset about the fact that I couldn't claim it. I was upset about the amount. I felt like I should have probably gotten more for how many hours I spent into the game and all that shit. You know, compared to DeFi airdrops that I used to farm back in 2021. Bro, I must have spent a fraction of the fucking time on those airdrops and gotten like 20 times the output, you know? Yeah. So for me, it was an adjustment period because I was like, God damn, like, this was my first time really going for an airdrop in Web3 gaming. And it sucked as far as the amount. That's not Nine Heroes' fault. That's my dumbass fault for thinking I was about to pull in 5 figures off an airdrop. But was I still upset about it? Yeah. Did I bitch about it on the TL? No. I decided to make a meme that expressed all the mixed emotions I had throughout the process, right?
I think it's like talking about like who is really an adult in this space too, because if you find, because this is like a childlike thing to make jokes about it, but it's an adult way to handle it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, I'm so mad, ready to get my airdrop. Scam, going to zero, post cock. Like, there's very different ways to go about having something negative, and you can still make a positive out of it, just like this fucking beautiful work of art.
This shit is hilarious. All right, real quick, let's all pick our stages here during this airdrop. All right, for me, I'm definitely number 2 because I was not a part of it. I was just at my office. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what is happening? Like, you know, like. And then, you know, that's how I feel. But what about you, Hado?
I mean, I'm definitely number 3 because I was like, you know,
you're just praying. You're just like,
please, like, it's hour 5, hour 6.
He's just like, let me claim, bro. Just
I want to go to bed and claim this shit. Please, can I claim this and go to bed?
Just go through, bro. Just go through. Just transaction complete. Okay, cool.
That's how I was the entire night into the morning. So
that's crazy.
Well,
I was all for it. That's why I put it. You know,
that was just your stage development.
Yeah, like that was my. If you wanted to know exactly how the airdrop went for me, that was it right there. I was, you know, I was chilling. Like, Addis and I had a meeting previously in that day because we were talking about working on OG Mag shit. So he and I were like theorizing on our call how much money we thought we were gonna make. Like, Addis in your chat, like, you know, you remember the figures we were talking about. We were talking about, like, yo, we might pull like 15 racks off this shit. You know, like,
yeah, bro.
We were in the middle of working on OG Bag, and we're like, yo, if each 100,000 meows is $500, how much are we pulling in? Like, we're fucking chilling, right? So
we were like, we each had like multiple hundreds, you know?
Like, yeah. And we were like already making purchases in our minds. Like, we were there. You know? So I was the first one all day, chilling, cool as a cucumber, ready for this airdrop, ready to be graced by the fucking degen gods, right? And then all of a sudden, airdrop time comes. A motherfucker can't claim. I can't see how many tokens I got. So I'm just like, shit, the fuck is going on? Then the third one comes around. And I'm just like, a homie got to hope and pray this shit does not go to 0 before he gets the claim. Because again, if they had token sinks, I would have been kind of trying to figure out, well, am I going to buy some boxes? Am I going to do some openings? Am I going to go on stream? But I knew there was only one thing to do with the token, and I would sell that shit and buy it for cheaper later after everyone else does, right? So I was praying that I got access, and you know, I was like, please let this airdrop actually be sizable and not let me get fucking nickels for fucking, you know, whatever. And then I couldn't claim, and I couldn't claim until the next day. So, you know, I was still kind of like 3 edging into 4. And then once I saw the airdrop amount, I was completely number 4, bro. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I cannot believe I stayed up until 4 o'clock in the morning for like $1,000. Granted, I'm grateful for whatever I got because nothing was promised to me. And that is not on Nyan Heroes, right? That's my dumbass for being like, oh shit, I'm pulling 15 racks off this airdrop. But that's what I've seen in DeFi and shit like that, right?
Yeah. I think that's why a lot of people are disappointed too, because they were expecting like some high amount, and the entire night too in chat they're like, "What's the ratio? What's the ratio?" And people are like, "The ratio is this," and then a lot of people are like, "I can't claim. What the hell? What do you mean I'm not eligible to claim and stuff?" And so like there was so many emotions that were flying through the radar in terms of the chat.
Yeah, and now I'm pretty sure I'm still not able to claim. So.
Yeah, I jumped into the lobbies the day after, dropped the 30 bomb, 1 death, and I was back to number 1 again.
I took a couple of days off and played it eventually, and then I tried to play it on stream last night, solo queue. We're not doing that again. If I'm playing the game, I need y'all in the fucking lobby.
This guy looked like he was about to cry on stream, bro.
That video had me crying, bro. This man put like the fucking sad song behind it. He's just like, with
this motherfucker. This motherfucker looked like this motherfucker looked like the Elven King in Lord of the Rings 2 when they're all dying in the fucking.
You know what's funny about the music? I didn't even control it. YouTube autoplayed that. Because my song was over, and then YouTube put that on there, and it fit the theme.
Your reaction,
it just fit perfectly. It was like God sent this to me, bro.
Bro, the YouTube admins were looking at that stream, and they were like, "Nah, man, we need to hook this guy up, bro. Hit him with the sad boy music real quick, bro." It's like, God damn, you almost made me want to drive back to my house and get on a game with you, bro, just because of that video.
Dude, it felt like my homies were.
But I was like, nah, he'll be all right, bro. The game is getting close tomorrow. He'll be okay.
I felt so bad. I was like, damn, bro. Like, I told you I was gonna get on, man. I had to take care of you.
I know, but he's like, yo, I'm on, bro. Let's play. He's like,
at that point, I was so cooked that I had to take my aggression out with Street Fighter, and then after that, because I ranked down in Street Fighter, but I ranked back up because I stopped playing stupid. Eventually I was like, you know what, I'm done. And then I was like, let me go back to the ex-girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend. And I was like, Overwatch time, baby. And then same problems happened, but more communication. So I was like content with that. I was like, at least we can talk. At least people are saying things. At least there's some discussion and somewhat. And the characters talk too. They're like, oh, like move the payload and stuff. Like the Nyan Hero cats. If I could say anything that you could copy from Overwatch, besides if you look at them side by side, the frame for frame, it's very similar in terms of like the UI. But what I would like Nyan to do is to have some kind of cat talk. And I don't mean meow. I'm talking like some kind of like cats like I'm ulting or something. I don't know, some fucking voice lines. I'll do it.
But they do need to say meow after every sentence. All right. I'm gonna need the yo, I'm about to pop out of the suit. Meow.
I honestly just want the achievement title over my head that says "Destroyer Pussy," and that's all I want.
Wait, what would be the achievement for that? Like get 5,000
kill 5,000 like Nyan cats only, like not mech
only
kills.
when they're like in the small kids.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want some
destroyer, bro.
Yeah, destroyer pussy.
That might be a little too out there, bro.
But like it could be the emoji, right? It doesn't have to be the full word, you know. Or they could even play around with it and make it like destroyer a putty, you know, some shit. I don't know. But like to me, that shit would be goated. Like me walking around Mizzy, destroyer of pussy, like above my head. Come on, man! Like it's a cat game. Like let's embrace the joke.
Dude, that's fucking beautiful, man. That's fucking beautiful. I think that the whole moral of the story here is that people shouldn't take shit too seriously, though. and just have some fun with it, man. Have some fun with it, man.
Turn off.
All right, the
Rank.
game is still good. The game is fucking still good. It's still the same fucking game. That did not affect the game in any way. So if you like Nine Heroes, just fucking keep playing the fucking game, bro.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
I
Just
mean,
don't
Like Hado
solo
said, there'll
queue.
be other
Don't solo
airdrops.
queue.
There'll be other airdrops.
ever since TG, you see anybody else post about it though?
Like I said, bro, the real gamers will stay, man. The real
I dropped a
gamers will
Walking on Sunshine fucking montage.
stay. I'm walking on sun.
Did that hit?
What?
Did it hit?
Numbers wise, it did alright, man. To be honest, like the algo's been acting weird, and also like montages is a new thing for my audience, right? So it's not like it's not like I'm known for montages, you know. As my
Right.
manager loves to remind me, you know. The fucking guy, he's like, "Hey, Mizzy, you're like
Not
known
bullish,
for
boys. Not bullish.
montages. You're like the founder of Catalyst, Mizzy, man. Like,
No,
stick
this
to
is
the
how he
man,
talks.
Mizzy."
This is how he talks.
Oh gosh, bro. Come on, man. Don't do that, man, like that.
No,
You
but
know.
all joking aside, as my manager loves to remind me, I'm not like a montage guy, right? But it's something I want to incorporate to the brand because, I mean, I'm nostalgic for it. Nobody else in our fucking space is doing it, and it's fun. So,
Hey, man. I did it, man. I did it, man. All
I
right?
said no one else in our space is doing
I
it.
know.
Like,
I'm just.
when I
I'm
say
just
no
fucking,
one else, I mean outside of our crew, right? Like,
I'm just fucking with you.
yeah.
Man.
So it's, you know, my montages aren't even that great. Like, I don't get the best shots, you know. Like, I could do better on some of my shots and shit, but I'm kind of working up to it.
I mean,
I
it's
mean, there's different ways. There's
Yeah.
different forms of montages, bro. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be like a fucking kill taste, you know. It doesn't have to be like a fucking you
I'm trying-
going off. It can be
Yeah.
funny shit. It can be like, you know, just all sorts of things, bro.
Yeah. So, you know, for me, it's a form of content I've never created before.
Joking.
And I just want to experiment with it as much as possible. Shout out Damien for the edits. Fucking legend.
Hell yeah, Damien is crushing it, bro.
Yeah,
Dude,
shout out
fucking-
Damien for playing earlier too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, listen, that's all we had to say, I guess, about the topic on the Nyan Hero airdrop. Before we keep going with the show, though, let's go ahead and shout out Wag Me real quick, and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, this episode of the Catalyst Effect podcast is sponsored by WagMe Games, Web3's first universe encompassing multiple games, animes, collectibles, and more. Their current game, WagMe Defense, is a mobile defense tower game that is available on Android, BlueStacks, and Google Play. Wield your card deck, deploy characters, and defend your towers. Optimize your deck to launch attacks and dismantle your opponent's base. Rank victorious and emerge with bragging rights, collectible cards, and Nifty. WagMe Defense's universe is set in the year 3022 and unfolds in Nimash, an off-world laboratory serving as the backdrop for immoral experiments. Though the world may seem dark now, the choices made by players, whether human or alien, will shape the outcome of the Nifty Wars. Thank you to WagMe Games for being an official sponsor of the Catalyst Effect podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
You know, I gotta say, you guys are gonna love the new animations that WagMe is putting out. They just teased some
Cool.
out. So they teased some stuff the other day, and like it's an upgrade, but it's like that's just like a little taste, bro. Like, I'm so excited for Global, and like I gotta be honest. The more I play this game, the more I like it. Like it was
That's a
like,
great sign.
It was like a slow start for me, but I'll be honest. Like there's so much content that I could make from this game, and stay tuned for June. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, I have to agree with you. And by the way, shout out to Wag Me, man. Thank you for all the support that you guys have given us on all of our shows and just the brand overall. We love working with you guys. So huge shout outs to them. Definitely check them out, guys. But I agree with you, Hado. I actually once I finally figured out how to make BlueStacks work for my computer, like I started actually playing the game, and the game is actually a ton of fun. Like I had a blast playing it. Like, dude, like there's so much, I agree with you, there's so much content to do inside that game. You get me? From opening packs to like having fun with the lore to like having fun with shit that happens in the game. Like there's so much shit that's constantly happening, dude. It was definitely a tower defense game that brought a lot more mechanics into it that made it a lot more fun for me.
Yeah,
Personally.
I definitely have a cloud segment before we start the gameplay on our sponsored streams on my channel. So we definitely do some case openings and stuff.
Oh hell yeah, dude! You gotta invite me, bro. I gotta bring that luck to the RNG. You feel me? Like I'll make it profitable. Like in like probably the first case we open, you know. So like You got to
Yeah.
bring me on, my boy. You
I
got to
mean,
bring me on.
low key, I'm like when bull run happens and like money is no object, I'm gonna dive in and like make that like more content as like opening cases. Because to me, like I understand why you do it and stuff. It doesn't really hit the same for me in CS. But to me, it's like going back to being a kid and getting like a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards or a pack of
Yeah.
Pokemon cards. And it's like, what am I gonna get, bro? It's a
It's
suspense.
instant dopamine, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
You get
for
me?
sure.
It's instant dopamine because you don't know what you're gonna get. And if you get something dope, then you're like, fuck, you know. But if you get something shit, then you're like, whatever.
Yeah,
You know, like
so
it's okay.
shout outs to them for doing it in that way too. Like it's I'm pretty sure that like whoever made that design decision on the team had that same feeling like as a kid opening up those cards. So love that.
If you're a TCG game, one of your biggest inspirations should be Yu-Gi-Oh, because
Always.
they literally figure out how to make that IP stand the bro, it stand the time. You get me? Like it's literally been one of the most popular TCGs, anime, collectible cards, whatever the fuck you want to refer them to as, right? Like in history, aside from Pokemon, you get me, and Magic, and like the obvious one, right? But Yu-Gi-Oh, when it came to card design, like the way that the metas kept changing and evolving, you get me, it's not the same game that we used to play when we were kids. You get me,
Yeah.
and that's good, bro, because they still maintain their IP. You get me, in a way that even you as an OG player can go back to Yu-Gi-Oh and it will still give you that same feeling, right? Like if you were to buy a new pack right now and you get like all those fucking dual links bullshit that they have now, you get me, you still get excited for opening the cards, you get me, and the feel of the card, the holographics, the
Mm-hmm.
card effect, all that shit, the lore, everything is still the same, you get me. So I just think it's like one of the most successful TCGs that ever existed, you get me. And if you're building a TCG, that should be your point of direction of a lot of things,
Listen,
you know.
man. Listen. Yu-Gi-Oh is the guy she told you not to worry about. Yu-Gi-Oh fucks. All right.
Yu-Gi-Oh
So
Yu-Gi-Oh
Yu-Gi-Oh is the best TCG game
of all times, guaranteed. Guaranteed, bro.
Absolutely.
Hands down. But like even a game like Parallel, right? Which is a pretty massive
Does
like
not fuck.
no
Nope.
this man, bro. I wasn't even gonna go in that direction, bro. I was just gonna say like it's probably the most popular TCG in bro, what this dude is just hitting all the sounds on the sound player. It's just funny. It's like nope. That was funny. But what I was gonna say is like it's probably one of the most like popular TCG games in Web3, right? But my
Mhm.
biggest problem with Parallel is the card design for me. I could not wrap my head around it. I didn't feel any form of excitement getting any of those cards. You get me? So that to me was enough for me not to want to get involved with the game, deeply. Like, I played it a few times, but it was nothing that kept me wanting to come back, in my personal opinion. And it's because the card design, the lore, I didn't have that dopamine effect that we were talking about, right, with Yu-Gi-Oh. So I think, you can have a popular game, but
do we
what's that?
know what the daily active user number is on Parallel?
Nope.
I refuse to believe it's actually that high, to be honest.
I don't know, man. I think they have a strong community. I just don't know how many like actual active users they have.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
But
All I know is they've been putting their logo on like Web 2 tournament stuff like Smash Bros and whatever. So the word is definitely getting out for Parallel, but as far as numbers, they may have like a lot of people playing it. I don't think it just hits.
One thing I will say about Parallel is that they have a team with massive experience, right? Like I don't know if you guys saw that mock-up trailer thing they did for like an FPS experience type of shit. It looks like the Mandalorian type of shit, right? Like they can come up with high graphic shit, and like even when they do the trailers for their lore and shit like that, it's really high quality stuff, right? I just don't know what happened between that level of experience and the decisions for like what card designs look like. You get me? Because that's the only, like, I feel like that's the only part that game is really lacking. Like, like there is a concept there, people understand how to play the game, but it's just there's just no assignment happening for me.
Nah, man.
It's
for me,
boring.
it's not even the card, because card design is something that could be upgraded. Like when I play the game, I'm just bored. Like,
That's another thing. I'm bored too.
Like the mana, the way they did the energy system. I know card games have mana systems, blah blah blah. I get it, but like, damn, dude, the parallel one just it doesn't hit for me for whatever fucking reason. I've actually enjoyed, I haven't been able to play as much as you guys with WAGMI, unfortunately, because I've been having some serious issues with BlueStack. But in the time that I have been able to play it, I enjoyed WAGMI a lot more. And that's not because we're sponsor ambassadors or whatever the fuck. Parallel could offer me $20K a month tomorrow. I would say no because I wouldn't be able to make genuine content. It would suck.
Well, I think it was Gaikan that asked me that question when I was telling him, bro, I would not like do content with this game. Yeah, I mean, he was like, oh, like even if you could make like $100 a day or something like that on it, you wouldn't play. I'm like, nope, I could care less. You get me about the $100 a day. I would not have fun playing this game. You get me? So I would play it for less than an hour, so I'm not gonna make $100 a day. You feel me? So like it just doesn't make any sense, man. Like to me, it's just I'm more interested in their colony thing that they're building. I don't even know if it's out already or if they continue to build that or they put a pause on that.
It's not out yet, but they're still building it. It's just like it's gonna be an AI game, so how much can we actually play, right?
Yeah, no, but I mean it's a farming game, right? It's like to farm resources and shit like that. But I'm just interested to see the interface of it, right? And like the technology they bring to it. I'm not gonna be actually paying because it's to farm resources for parallel, right? Like so, like I can't like unless you sold those resources in the secondary. Like I don't know really the economy model behind Colony yet, but I am interested in learning a little bit more about it. That's the only part that I'm interested in parallel.
Another thing I will say about WAGMI, the last thing I'll say too, is that this game is such a stream friendly game. It's slow paced like Hearthstone, because the thing is with Hearthstone, a lot of people grew in Hearthstone because it was very easy to play the game and interact with chat at the same time. I see a very similar parallel here. You see what I did there? I see a similar parallel there with WAGMI because you have that same kind of feeling where you can interact with chat and it's not too busy of a game to miss chatters, right? So yeah, I think it's a great content game.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Well, listen, let's move down to the next topic. Have you guys seen the whole Faze versus Optic versus 100T thing that's going on YouTube? Basically, Nayshot was streaming and his chat was telling him, yo, you should like 1v1 Ricky Banks, right? Or Face Banks. And Nayshot was saying like, yo, that's not even like a fucking challenge, bro. I would destroy this man. You get me? On a 1v1 snipers only in Rust, like the original Rust. So he was saying like, yo, I'm gonna smack this kid around, you get me? And these two are homies. I don't think there was like any actual drama there, but like it was just funny to see that type of culture come back into the internet, right? Because then obviously Bang saw that and he reacted and he started calling him out. And now there's this whole like freaking Hex from Optic got involved somehow, because obviously these three people or like these three entities are like kind of like the founding fathers of Call of Duty and even early YouTube, bro. Like these people were working with Machinima when YouTube first started monetizing, right? So like they've been definitely around for a while in the gaming industry. But the founding fathers of Call of Duty. So the three of them are now basically putting this whole production thing together to actually have an event for a 1v1 between Nayshot and Face Banks. But I wanted to talk more about like the impact that this is having in the gaming culture, right? Rather than like the actual event. What do you guys think on that?
Listen, I'm gonna pull a Mizzy. Listen, Clouds. Listen. No, this is what I think is happening. Somewhere in the matrix that we live in, the Drake and Kendrick beef has sparked everyone's curiosity and inspiration again. I feel like people were lacking creativity in the past 4 years, probably because we've all been like muted with the obvious beer flu that happened. And I think that people are starting to go back to the ways they used to be, because I don't know their history per se, but I know that people do these kind of beefs all the time and create content around it, right? And so I think maybe the focus isn't on COD for like the top esport game or whatever, or top culture-based game. This is a perfect way to tie in that culture. Everyone starts doing their little beefs and stuff. Everyone tunes in. It's great for gaming. It's great for the culture of gaming. And I think it's really a callback to what happened between Kendrick and Drake. Because everybody does this pop culture thing, and like you hate it or love it, you are aware of it.
I ain't giving these nerds credit. These motherfuckers all have alt accounts that follow Catalyst. They seen the trash talk. They seen us out on the TL calm motherfuckers out. They were inspired, and they
By
want to
us.
bring that
By
culture
us?
back in
Oh,
Web 2.
okay.
Yeah, that's the shit theory I've sold myself.
Let this man
Is that
cook,
on
bro.
the is
Let
that on
this
the
man cook,
Mizzy?
bro.
Is that on the Mizzy ego board?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's on the ego board. They saw me versus Classy in AI Arena. They saw how Classy got cooked, and they were like, bro, nah, we got to bring this shit back.
Yeah, that's fucking funny, dude. That's fucking funny. Well, all three of those people are definitely involved in the Web3 world to some point. You know, I know
Yep,
Banks owns a bunch of CryptoPunks. Nasha owns a CryptoPunk. I think Hex owns some NFTs, but I have no idea what they are. But yeah,
they're
that's funny, though.
they're all watching the stream right now, bro. They're big fans.
Yeah, man. They're
Yeah.
shout out to you guys, man. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Appreciate the support as always. You know, big fan. No, but I agree with Hado. I think this was definitely a big. You know, I was watching the Courage and Nisha show yesterday. I think they dropped a new episode, and it was with Banks and Hex. They were talking about the whole 1v1 event and stuff, but they also talked about a lot of like what both of their companies, 100 Thieves and Faze, went through, right? Because both of them had major amounts of layoffs throughout, you know, funding seeds and like racing rounds, right? So, can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, my headphones are dying. That's what I was asking. But yeah, like basically, like they were talking about like how difficult it is to really build that culture within your company, but also like, do you need like in the gaming world, in the entertainment world that they're in, right? Do they even need that many employees? Because oftentimes what that does is creates more work or problems for them to do what they're supposed to do internally. You get me? So they were talking about just finding that balance of like, bro, we used to do this shit for 10 years, right? Without nobody. It was just one person running everything. You get me? And all of a sudden we need like 90 people to run this, the same thing that we were doing for 10 years. You get me? And they were just talking a lot about that point, and then they touched on like how they wanted to focus more on the culture of gaming and bringing that feeling back, right? Because this whole thing was kind of unplanned. That's what they were saying. At least it was all unplanned. They weren't really
Yeah.
like trying to actually make a 1v1 happen. But you know, they actually started talking about it. Their teams got involved, and now it's actually happening. I personally think it's really fucking cool, bro. Like this
Yeah.
is going to be a really big piece of content. It's definitely going to have a lot of eyes on it, right? On whatever stream they do. I just wish it wasn't on a game like Call of Duty. You get me? Because they don't need any more fucking fame, bro, in my opinion, you know. But like obviously it's for the culture, that's where they come from, that's what they're known for. So they gotta stick to that, right?
Yeah, and I even think it stems off of what Twitch is doing. Because a lot of people will do shit live, right? So you're talking about like unplanned shit. Like maybe they have outlines or guidelines of things that they'll do. Like they definitely plan things to do live streams, but
Yeah.
a lot of the things that I see on Twitch is like in the moment kind of thing.
That's who I think actually deserves the credit. Kai Sinat.
I mean, Kai is a culture too. I mean, he had 300,000
yeah.
viewers on
But
his
you gotta
stream.
understand,
No.
like-
I'm saying I think he deserves credit for inspiring people. Like how
Yeah.
hard he goes on his streams.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
It gives you a spark, man. Like what Hado was saying about Drake and Kendrick. Like Kai Sinat, that shit gives you a fucking spark. Like anytime
Absolutely.
I want to feel like I'm not doing enough, I just go watch a Kai Sinat.
Absolutely. Same thing with Mr. Beast, right? Like all
Yeah.
of these people, bro. Like
Man, Mr. Beast is a little weird, but yeah, I agree.
I mean,
Like,
whatever you want to feel about it, but the dude, you can't deny the level of production that guy puts out consistently, bro. Like this dude
Yeah.
drops like $5 million like videos every fucking week. You get me? Like he does. Like I don't know. I get what you're saying about him being weird, but like brandability wise, and like you know, building a brand and building that culture around like fandom and stuff like that. He did fucking.
No,
tremendous, bro.
I
Like, you know,
agree. I
like-
agree. Like Mr. Beast is in a weird way, like almost like Fear Factor of web of YouTube now with some of the challenges he makes people do and some of the shit that he does.
And Twitter
I
too.
I just love how Kai Sinat's like the homie in his room, right? Like this guy took over the internet from his room.
Yeah, and he's still on
that's
that
a
gaming
streamer
chair.
culture, though, bro. That's the
Yeah.
streaming culture, though. You get me?
You seen
it's
this
the same thing
chair?
with
It's
Adam,
lit-
it's the same thing with Adam Ross. Like Adam Ross was fucking massive, right? And the dude was just like fucking sitting like SQC on a desk. You get me? Like that's all he's
Yeah.
like. basically he didn't move from that room. He didn't do IRL like blogs or anything like that.
Yeah, like if you look at Kai Cenat's chair, he was talking to Kevin Hart about how like because his chair has a missing wheel, it's like beat the fuck up, but it's like he came up in that chair, so he don't
like
want
a reminder.
yeah. So like it's his it's symbolic. It's symbolic to him. Sentimental.
Yeah, bro. It's like this dude Jinxie with the fucking chair that he uses. You get me? It's like a fucking regular dining room chair. You get me? It's not even like a gaming chair or anything.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never seen a Juicy clip where he doesn't drool. Like that nigga yells and drools in every clip that I ever seen.
Bro, his videos are fucking hilarious, dude. I don't even know how he can fucking move in the Xbox controller so fast, bro. The way he opens up the menu and goes through like to send somebody a message while he's reacting. Bro, he does that shit so quick. It's fucking crazy, dude. I'm like, bro, I remember those days and having to do that. Typing in that Xbox 360 fucking chat that popped up on the screen was horrible.
Oh, you've seen that? You've seen that clip of the guy on the roof? He's like right behind the sniper, and he pulls up the message thing, and he sends a message to the guy he's about to like shoot, and the guy turns around and he just yeah. It's like
that in Battlefield?
No, that was Call of Duty.
Oh, it was Call of Duty. I saw that too in Battlefield 2024, I think.
Oh,
I mean not 2024, 2042 or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah. No, it was an old Call, like Modern Warfare 2, I think.
But yeah,
hilarious.
But to get back to the conversation, bro, I am very excited to see this culture coming back to the gaming space, Web2 gaming space. I think, it's needed. It's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Who you got though? Like, who you guys got?
Oh, I'm gonna definitely get Naisha, bro. Like, come on, guys. Listen, I'm a huge Faze Bank fan, all right? I saw this man's sniper clips, like, back in the day when he was in SOAR, all this type of shit, right? Like, but at the end of the day, Naisha is still playing the game consistently, dude. And he's a fucking pro Call of Duty player, bro. Like, this man was the first fucking esports player in Call of Duty to fucking have a Red Bull, like, partnership. Like, nah, bro. I'm sorry for Ricky, but dude is going down.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm Team Nate Shot as well. And I'm praying that someday we have a Web3 version of this. I actually had a long-winded rant about this the other day on my stream, and to cut it short, I basically want this kind of events or like culture in Web3, and that's.
Oh,
I mean, I think we can build that. I think it's going to take some time, but like I think Nate Shot's got this in the bag.
That's the whole point. But to add real quick, there's a whole nother point to this match. There's a bunch of third-party like betting website that are actually having like fucking odds on this fucking thing.
Really?
Dude. So what I suggest is that we put like $500 or $1,000 into banks because he has the better odds right now. You get me? Or the worst odds, I mean. And then we put like around the same amount of money into Naisha. So and just in case it goes south. But if Banks wins, bro, we may. Our treasury may look nice, bro. Our treasury may look nice.
I think we should do that. That's a great idea.
You should make content too.
Yeah, I mean,
and same glasses.
Yeah, we should definitely do a watch party.
What I would say is, would you guys, even like in his prime, would you guys have defined Banks by cracked? Like, because you never really felt
cracked?
like the
he was definitely cracked. No, he was cracked, dude.
Like
in sniping.
Yeah, in sniping, right? But he wasn't like. I always felt he was more. I always felt he was more like more about like the content than necessarily like the performance in the game.
Yeah, his whole vibe really like changed when he moved to LA. When he did that whole thing with Alyssa Violet and the cloud gang, the cloud gang shit. He became more about like IRL content and stuff like. I think Banks has always been a type of because I've been watching. These are people that content creators that I grew up with, right? I grew up watching these guys like when I was consuming content, right? So like. He like always was the type of content creator to find like what was the next wave, right? Like what was the next thing to go viral type of shit. So I think that was just like the focus shift there. But sniping wise, the dude was cracked. He was just not a cracked trick shotter. He was more like type of homage sniping, like the sniping montages and stuff like that. But he was cracked. But not a crack. I mean, come on, man. Nate is a pro player.
I mean, I agree about Nate Shot being the one that should win. But, like, me being someone that thinks about narrative, culture, like, I guess, who would the culture benefit from winning more?
Oh, Banks. For sure.
Right? Which is why
I think people want... I mean, one thing that Banks has is he has a huge fucking cult-like following, right? Like, people love him, bro. Like, if you're a fan of Faze, I would say like the fandom from Faze, 90% was a fan of Banks. Every time he put out content, you get me. So definitely people want him to win. But when you look at the odds and like comparing them, like skill base wise, like Banks hasn't played a fucking video game, I think, and like well, at least made a video about a video games in like fucking I don't even know how many years, bro. Nation is still playing Call of Duty like yesterday,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No,
I hope it's
I
Banks
agree.
that wins, but
I agree from a skill perspective that
yeah.
Nate Shot should win. It's just me knowing how marketing works today. Like we got fucking what is it? What's his motherfucking name? Jake Paul, I think. Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah,
Boxing Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Like
bro,
it's
that's gonna
almost
be
like they're
such
trying
a
to bring
sleeper
that
fight.
celebrity boxing field to esports.
Yeah, that would be
Through
cool,
these
man.
established names. But like the wave doesn't get started unless Banks wins. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
which
mean,
is
yeah, dude.
which
Yeah,
is
you're
why
right
I'm
about
like,
that.
is this like one of those things where it goes one way, you're thinking it's gonna go one way and ends up going another? I don't know, but I'm very intrigued, and that's why I'm very interested by
The
this
thing
because
is
I
that it
think
could
it's a
go
good
any
learning
way.
lesson for us.
It could go any ways, right? It's a sniper 1v1. So, they're both good at sniping. So it's not like Banks won't be able to like do anything. Yeah, I mean, I hope it's Banks that wins because I agree with all your points. It's just the odds are not looking well in his favor.
Yeah, but
So hopefully,
we definitely need to. When's this shit come out? Do we know?
I don't think they have a date yet, bro, because
Yeah,
they're still planning. Based on what I saw on the podcast, they're still planning all that and all that stuff.
yeah.
But
We
maybe
need
in
to
like over
bet.
the summer.
Yeah, we need to place our bets, have a watch party, react to that shit live.
Dude, that'll
Yeah,
be funny. That'll be funny as hell, dude. I definitely would enjoy like esports with more like the celebrity deathmatch feel. That would be really cool to see, bro. Because you're right. If this goes well and it builds a narrative, next thing we're gonna see is like retired pro players calling other people out. Like imagine the next fight is Nasha versus Ace. They hated each other,
yep.
bro, when they were in esports. There's a whole video of them Nasha pushing Ace on the stage, or I mean the other way around, like Aches pushing Nation on the stage and shit like that. So that would be a cool fucking thing to see in like an
Yeah,
esports
because
match.
like as I look at the way that Banks, like I paid a lot of attention to how he constructed Phase now, right? All the people he brought in are essentially, I don't want to call them Kaisonot clones, but that's basically what it is. They're all like
Yeah.
lifestyle creators, right? They're sitting in their chair talking shit on a stream. They occasionally play some games. They're occasionally looking shit up on the internet. These guys would do well in a celebrity boxing type of world, right? Where it's like their fandoms are pulling up because it's them versus, I don't know. Let's use Kai Cenat as an example. Like one of them against Kai Cenat in a snipe off. They're not good players. The pro scene doesn't want to see them. But as you heard, like Banks say, no one cares about a snipe montage.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I kind of see this being like a very beautifully articulated marketing plan where it's like you got Banks versus Nate Shot that's gonna, and of course Ricky that's gonna bring it all back. Then you got all of a sudden like the celebrity death match kind of thing coming out of it if Banks wins. Or even if Nate Shot wins, they can still spin it that way. And then all of a sudden the lifestyle creators that he has are now FAs are now all of a sudden like bringing that lifestyle component back into game, right?
Yeah.
That's my conspiracy theory.
Yeah, no, it'll be a huge like marketing take. Like it's gonna be definitely interesting to see how it plays out because all of these companies, like the three companies involved, they have huge teams, right? So I'm sure they're going to market it very well and it's gonna pop off. I just don't like it'll be interesting to see what after effects it has, right? Like what are the after effects of whatever happens in the match, right? So it'll be interesting, man. It'll be definitely something cool to see happen in the gaming space. Like
Yeah, I
us have
really,
our own celebrity boxing type of shit, but it's through esports, or
hell
like
yeah,
just like 1v1s.
I really hope it's just bigger than this one time thing though. Like I think this could be the beginning of something special.
I hope so, man. I definitely think it's gonna be really cool. So I agree with you. Is this still World of Warcraft? What is this?
Yeah, this still well.
Oh, okay. It looks so much further away.
He's like,
Yeah, oh, it's because I zoomed out. It's because I zoomed out my screen.
Ah, okay.
Let's see.
Yo, all right. But listen, man, this has been a fucking fantastic episode, guys. Like, I love we need to do these more often because I love when it's just the three of us and we can just fucking take our time and like talk about shit and like just catch up with the space and give our opinions and stuff, you know, because I mean, I love having guests in the show, but like it's hard sometimes because we want to make sure they feel included and like, you know, we're focusing on their brands and stuff like that. So it's always a pleasure to do a show with just the three of us, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think we're gonna close it there, guys. We got a little 2 hour stream here of a beautiful, beautiful episode of the Catalyst Effect. Make sure you guys check out DeFi Land and Alpaca Dash and WagMe. Make sure you follow them on their socials, check out their games and start playing them. They're really, really cool. And we'll be back next week on Sunday at the same damn time. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Peace.